Welcome to Shift Transition's first transition tutorial. This is Daniel Peltz, Program Director, and today I will give a quick introduction on the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation Services, or DVR. This is intended for parents of students with special needs that are still in high school or are about to graduate and need to know exactly how things are going to go for their son or daughter once they graduate. So we begin with a high school student who has been determined to possibly need services from DVR by their child's study team. The school will contact DVR to let them know that they may need services and will likely invite a representative to attend an IEP meeting. This communication can begin as early as age 14, but sometimes ends up happening at age 16 or later. The school will then come up with a transition plan, put it in the IEP, and have it ready to be implemented the day that the student graduates. The school is also responsible to do all psychological, cognitive, and vocational aptitude assessment. So the student graduates and gets referred to DVR. They determine him or her to be eligible for services if they have any type of disability that will create a barrier to employment. Once the student is found eligible for DVR services, they will be assigned a case manager. They will meet with the family and the student to determine which services will be needed. Typically, as far as a young adult's long-term future is concerned, this involves a choice between pursuing secondary education or employment. That is, if supported employment is an option. If the disability is not significant, however, many school districts tend not to refer higher functioning students for supported employment. Also, a student cannot choose both. So let's say they take option A and end up choosing secondary education or some sort of training program. DVR then might provide money to help with tuition for that training program, although it's not likely to cover all of a student's tuition. They're also supposed to provide guidance and connect the student with resources on their college campus, such as the Office of Special Services. Let's say you choose the other option, the employment option. This involves being referred to a supported employment vendor of your choosing. The case manager will give you a list of all the vendors that can provide these services, and then it is your job to call around and pick the one that you feel has the best chance of helping your son or daughter find employment. Once you make that choice, you then tell your DVR counselor, who will send all of your information to the organization and issue a voucher for a certain number of hours. This is typically a 20-hour voucher, meaning they will have a total of 20 hours to meet with you, provide guidance, find you a job, and then coach you in that job. If they run out of hours, the organization will ask the DVR counselor for more hours, and they will most likely issue a new voucher for another 20 or so hours. The other thing that they could also provide after job coaching is completed is long-term follow-along. If your daughter or son needs continuous support to maintain their job, they can get a maximum of 3 hours per month, although not every vendor is allowed to provide these services for DVR. So in the end, the overall goal of DVR is to have you obtain and keep employment for 60 days. Once this goal is fulfilled, they close the case. If you lose your job at some point in the future, you can call up DVR and reopen your case and go through the same supported employment process again. There's no age limit for getting services from DVR. You can be 18 or 68. These are the basics of the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation Services. If you have any more specific questions, feel free to comment on this podcast or send an email to dan@shifttransition.com. Also, remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Once again, this is Daniel Peltz, Program Director of Shift Transition, saying thanks for watching.